Okie dokie. Hello everyone. See, there's nobody on yet, but we'll wait a few minutes before we get started. Okay, I don't know what time it is, but I'm going to go ahead and get started. Today I'm going to show you how I make my eggs, cutesy eggs, and carrots. These are a set that I sell like this, but I do individual carrots too, and I do individual eggs, different types of eggs for Easter. So I had an order that I need to get finished, and so that's why we're doing these tonight, because I need to make some carrots and some more eggs for it, because she ordered 2 sets of it. So I'm going to show you, I sew my carrots. I'm not sure if you can, I just think that if you use glue, I think that it would I think the glue, when you're stuffing this, because you have to stuff these pretty tight in that, with the seam in that, I don't know if it would hold it. Even with the fabric glue, I just don't think it's sturdy enough. If you use the regular hot glue, I think that, hello Linda, hi Dawn, Miss Dawn, thank you for stopping. I'm going to show you guys how I do my little carrots and my eggs, because I had an order that I needed to make another set of these. So that's what we're going to do tonight, except I don't have this trim, so I'm going to do everything but this trim, because I'm going to have to go tomorrow to, I know I got it at Hobby Lobby, and they only had this there, and it's too big, and it's not the right colors. It's more orange, and this is more pastels. So I'm either going to have to hit my other Hobby Lobby to see if they have it, because as we well know, that you can't just order it at Hobby Lobby and go pick it up. You got to actually go there. Otherwise, you get it from Oklahoma, from their main thing. So I'm going to show you how I put mine together and how it looks finished. But if you want to try it with trying to glue it with fabric glue, you could try that. But I think stuffing it, you got to really stuff it tight. And I just don't think the fabric glue would hold it very well, or it will make it hard, the seams hard, because you do have to sew the seams up on both sides. So now, these carrots are 14 inch, and with the stems and everything in them, they end up almost 18 inches by the time I'm done with them. One of them is usually a little bit smaller than the other. from cutting it, and I'm not really sure why, but it is. It's usually the one, well, it's the one that you have to sew on both sides. This one you only sew on one side. So what you do, whatever size, you can make them any size you want. If you want to have 5-inch ones, little ones, 10-inch ones, doesn't make any difference. Hello, Lori. Hi, Brenda. Thank you guys for coming. You make it, you get a piece of material, whatever you're going to use, and you cut it, like this one is 12 by 12. Make sure it's 12 at the top, 12 on the side. So you can go any, if you want to make them 14, if you want to make gigantic ones that are like 16, just make sure it's an even number so that it will all come out even. And after you cut it, then you fold it in half, just like this. I mean, they're quite simple to make. Then you just go from corner to corner and make a line, which I've already done. And bring it down here to this corner, and that's where you're going to cut your line. So this is going to be one carat, this is going to be the other carat. After you do that, you just cut your material. Then this is the top part. My top part, I cut this 12 inches. 12 inches, the length is 12. And I usually do it 5 inches, so you've got at least, you know, just about 2.5 inches is going to be up. I don't put a seam allowance or anything like that in it because you're just going to write it right along the edge. So you pull this out like this, because this is one of your carats, and then you just put it up to here, up to the edge. And I use my presser foot for my guide, and I just come down. Then it ends up being like this. As you can see, this will be your carat. Then next, what you do is you just bring it together, fold it back over, and then you're just going to seam it all the way down where I ride the edge of it that way. And that's how you make your pocket at the top. And then it becomes like this. And I've got this one put together, and I put my stuffing and everything in it. And you stuff it pretty firm. Then I take my thread and I just do a quite a large stitch for gathering, just in and out, in and out, in and out, all the way around for gathering. So then when you pull it and bring it together, that's how you get your little pushy stuff down here. And if it's on, you know, if it's not lopsided or something, all you got to do is just take your hands, push it down like that, so that you can see. You want to leave a little bit in here because you're going to put some greens in the top of it. Or, you know, you can just take it and wrap it around a couple times, because you're going to be putting, and it doesn't make any difference if your thread shows a little bit, because you're going to put a little piece around the bottom part of it. You can run it around like that, but you want to leave enough so you can stick in your greens through there. And I've got these cut here. So these two are what's going to go into the top part for your greens inside of there. So once I got that all together, this feels a little bit snug, so we're going to stick my finger down there a little bit to open that up. Then all I'm going to do is just a plain old stitch here to tie it off. And that's the reason I use that type of thread I told you when I'm doing this kind of stuff. This one here is because sometimes with the regular thread, this one just is you look for this like in your upholstery thread, and this is not as thick as upholstery thread. It's a little bit, it's a bonded nylon, and it's thicker. So when you're pulling it, you don't have to worry about it breaking on you, you know, when you're trying to gather. So then I just bring it in like that. Then stick it through the hoop here. A little bit of a... So there I go. I got it all together. This is all down. This is all down here. We'll cut this off. I think I'll put another one in. It feels a little bit loose. See, and you can stick your finger down there if one side seems like it's a little bit, doesn't have enough puff up at the top. You stick your finger down there and push it up. See, because inside here, that's where you're going to stick your this down in there in order to have your green sticking out of it. And I've sold quite a bit of these at Easter time. I probably have, I'm not sure how many sets I have in my shop. And I've come to the conclusion that I just have too many things in there, different things that I sell, and it's really a booger when you have so much stuff. You end up having lots and lots of totes. And I think I'm going to start eliminating some of it because it's just too much. Now I'm going to stick my finger down there to push that up so that you want it to be all kind of even. Push that down a little bit. I never really wrapped it around before. I don't know if that's a good idea or not. I just thought that might be easier for you. Okay, and then I take a piece of ribbon. We'll take this stuff here and puts it over here. We're done with it. This ribbon here, and you know, you could try it with glue and see how it works. I just, because to me it's so much easier just to sew it. So I'm going to bring this around because I want it to go at the base. So I cut off a piece that's around 6 inches. Then I'm gonna where's my seam? Oh, there it is. Okay. I usually put it where my seam is in the back. A little dab of glue. Bring it back around to cover that. Put it right on top of there. Make sure you got it together. Then I'm just going to put a little dab right here so it stays down. And then on this corner, here. Then I'm just going to fold this back so that it all gets in there nice and snug around it. So how's everybody doing tonight? Cold where you're at? We had a heat wave today. It was 20. Which I guess we should be thankful for. We all know Lori is wishing she had all this wonderful snow. I'm telling you, one day of clearing your car off, starting your car before you can go out, you wouldn't like it too much. Okay, then I make a little bit of a bow. I don't think this is going to be big enough. Well, maybe it will be. I got just glue everywhere. stopped by, I found it. I have another dollar store. I'm like really excited. I didn't even know there was one that close. I mean, I have two of them, but I found another one. I don't know how long it's been there, but I was like thankful. And then I just glue it, or you can tie it, which I usually do, but we're just gonna glue this one because it'll be simpler for you to see me do it. When I tie it, my hands will get in the way. And then we're going to take that and glue it right there. And then today I found these little carrots. Yeah, we got that. I know, it's been really cold. And it's supposed to be, I think, minus 17 tomorrow, but we had a heat wave today. It went up to 20. You know, with the wind chill factor, that's what gets. I found these little carrots. Aren't these cute? That I'm going to put on it. I was looking for little, let's press that in there. I was looking for smaller eggs. I might be able to use these. These are from Hobby Lobby. Because I went in there looking for my trim, and of course they didn't have it. So, I am going to have to either search tomorrow. Because I thought I had more, but of course I can't. It's not in any of my drawers where I normally keep that stuff. But I'll betcha, after I find something else, I betcha I'll find it. Now you can do any colors. This formula here to make it is the same for anything. Just remember that if you want 12-inch, your material's got to be 12 and 12, and it's only a single piece, not double. Single piece of material, and then fold it. And I'm going to stick this down here to make sure that I can get it in there. And these I got from this right here. I've gotten some from Hobby Lobby. These are from Hobby Lobby, but I've gotten them from Dollar Store. But when I went in there, I was looking for them, the ones that I bought before, but they didn't have them this year. I'm going to stick that down in there, and then I'm going to take my glue gun and stick it in there and put some glue in there. On one side, then I'm going to put it on the other side. And I'm just going to hold it down in there so that it stays. Oh boy, you guys are freezing. That's got to be awful. I'm leaving for Florida next week. It better warm up. If I go down there and it's freezing like that, I will have a heart attack. I am driving my two sisters down there. Doesn't that sound like fun? So there you got it. Here is your carrot with this. I just thought these little carrots were so cute. And it's supposed to be squishy. You don't want it to be too tight. This one I think I had a hard time putting everything in. I think I got this one a little bit squishier. It's not it's really tight at the top. And you want it to be kind of loose up here because it makes the crown part of it here. Just makes it much better. It looks more natural. So that's how I do my carrots. I do my Harlequin ones like this. I do all of them. And usually I do mine 14 inches And that's how I end up with mine being about 17 inches. You and your sisters wouldn't make it? Well, I'm not sure if we are either. The one sister I haven't talked to in, God, I don't even know, 3 or 4 years. This ought to be a real challenge for me. My other sister, I do. But since this is a totally free trip for me, all I have to do is drive. I thought, why not? She rented a house for a month with a pool. Hopefully it will get warm. If it doesn't, with my luck, it won't. All right, so now I have to make an egg. The only thing I'm not gonna be able to do is put this trim on, because I gotta see if I can find some more of this trim or something, because the one I got is too big and it's the wrong colors. But this is a set that I sell, that she bought 2 sets of them. So once again, I do the same thing I do with my my balls. I take it and I get in the middle of it. And this one is a little, these aren't as, they're like 16 and a half, and then it's like 6, it's like 6 and a half on one side, and the other side is a little bit bigger, but it's not going to make that much difference. And they also they do have a dimple in the middle of it that you can use as your gauge to go around, so then you know you're going from both sides. But when I did it, oh, I did this wrong, because there's my little thing there, so I must have went this way. No, with the balls, there's a line where they go in halfway. This, you kind of, takes a little bit more of your brain power. Well, it does mine. And I think, because I went where that one was at, where there's a dimple. Now that's 7 there. Didn't measure that the first time. And it's almost 7, so that's pretty good. So I did that again. I did it halves. Did in half, and then I did it in quarters. So then your slices are gonna be, they're usually around, let's measure all of these. It's like 1.5. Look, sometimes it's a little bit over, sometimes a little bit under, but your slice is like 1.5 inches. So I usually cut my material to be like 2, so I make sure that I have enough to be able to shove it in, and I'll cut it off. Doesn't make any difference to me. Then I take my little knife here that I love very much. Let's see if this one's a better one than the last ball I did. And I make my little incision. And these balls I get from, the eggs I get from Amazon. Because I looked at Sim's, but they didn't have big ones. But I should probably call them, because they have a lot of times where they didn't have my size balls last time, and I called them and they had them. He went and looked. They just weren't listed. I think they're actually, I think Sim's is redoing their website again, because a lot of things they don't have. I was looking this weekend and there were a lot of things that weren't on there. That normally, they didn't have any of their Christmas stuff. Their Christmas stuff wasn't on there, but I think they're making, aren't they doing something with it? Lori? Their website, they're working on it, making it more user-friendly. And I just put a little trench in there for each thing. Yeah, this is going to be the test of my patience, driving down with them. Yeah. I think I got them all. Okay, So now this is my material. I have, this will be my 4s, and then I have a velour and then a polka dot that goes on there. And I cut these out. Of course, I made little things like this, only because when I'm doing it, I'm usually doing quite a few of them at one time, so I like to cut out all of my stuff. I didn't do that one. Nope, I don't think I did. So I'm hoping there's a warm-up. Yeah, I wish you guys would have told me. I would have known about that earlier, because I'm going down until the 12th. I'm coming back home on the 12th. And then when I fly down, I'm flying back like on the 26th, because their daughter's going to come down and with her kids and that. And I could have came there first, but I already got my ticket. I got like a really, I was shocked. I got a ticket for Florida for $227 there and back. Because I didn't think I could do it for a full month. So I looked for a cheap ticket, and God was being really nice to me and gave me one. But I would have went where I could have flown there, because my ticket was just so cheap. And I didn't, not like got this ticket, I got it like, I think, between Christmas and New Year's, and when I bought it. And you just shove it in there. This one's long, so we're going to cut this one. So I'll be down there 12 days and then come home for a couple weeks and then go back down. But the sim show is like, that is the 24th, isn't it? You're still looking for a ticket to Raleigh? I don't know. I mean, mine was to Tampa. So, I mean, I was like shocked. I just kept thinking, I'll never make it. I'll never make it without that length of time with the two of them. But my one sister, she's only going for maybe 10 days, I think. Something like that. She's going to be gone. But they're both kind of needy. And it's right above, or right below Clearwater, where the house is. I think it's Seminole. It's the 23rd and 24th. See, I'm going to be leaving to go back down there on 24th, 25th, 26th. That's when I'm going back. It's because I think she's there. Is this year a leap year, or is it not a leap year? Do we have 28 days or 29 this year? Anybody know? Yeah, they say your best bet is to find your ticket like on Mondays or Wednesdays. I think I got mine on a Monday night, and it was like after 9, something like that. Even later is what I've heard. It's a leap year, so I won't be leaving until the 29th to come home, so I'll probably be back. I'll be back that weekend. Yeah, I've never been to Sim's spring show. I've only been to the fall one. And you do learn so much. just stuff it down in there, and if it's got too much material, and actually, you can just, you don't really have to make those patterns. I do it because usually I'm making, you know, 6 or 7 of them at a time, and so I just cut everything out and have it all ready for me. But as long as you cut your material 2 inches by 8, because this is an 8-inch ball, and if it's woven, you want to just give it a little bit more. The stretch, you can get away with, you know, not having as much. Who are they having for a designer this year? You guys know who's going to be doing the presentations there? This one I have a little skippy on. Who does the White House? Jim Roberts. Who is that? What's he look like? I don't think I've ever seen him. There's your 4 corners done. And now we're going to do, this is your velour. Let's make sure we got it going the right way. If you put like this is the wrong way, if you put it, it will look darker one way and lighter the other way, so when you have it up there, it looks kind of funny. So let's get it. See how, if you can see how that, this way it looks lighter, the other way it looks darker. And that's only with velour. And ideally, doing anything like this, your ideal fabric is a stretch. Because it goes in so much easier, so much faster. Where the woven, sometimes if it's a stiffer material, you'll get little creases in it. And the stretch is more forgiving. And Debbie likes everything about forgiving. In case she makes a boobty-doob. She's not on here, is she? Huh. Have you heard from her today, Lori? She went in for some kind of procedure for her bladder. And I didn't call her earlier. I was busy at the end of my day. I was Uber grandma for my grandkids. I had to get them to wrestling practice. And making sure that I had all my stuff together. So I haven't heard from her, so that doesn't sound good. And now we have our polka dots. And this material here, I think I got this at Walmart. The Weavy one, I don't remember where I got it, and I can't find it anywhere. So I'm going to have to look to see where I got that from. Nobody has it. I might have gotten it off of Etsy. But I don't think I got it last year. I think it's from a year ago. I think I didn't use it till last year. Don't remember. And I do plan on doing the Easter hat. I'm just going to probably do that in February because I didn't have enough time this week to get myself all together for it. So what I think I'll do is I'll do a Easter one with it, but you can do it the same way and show you how to make like a wedding hat. Well, that isn't what she didn't go for any of that. I mean, yeah, she said she had a cold. Her son, I think, came in with a cold and she gave her a cold, but she was having some other issues and she couldn't, then when she got COVID and all that, she had to mix. She couldn't go to her appointments. So she didn't have one until yesterday. Something has been bothering her since probably October. I'm not too sure the doctor's down there. But she had to go all the way to Knoxville, I know, and then she had to go all the way back to Knoxville again today. For some kind of procedure. So there we got our material all stuck in there. Let's make sure. I got a little piece here that's kind of tight, so I'm going to put a little bit of glue there so it lays down nice. But normally your trim will take care of that. And the trim I'm going to use, it's on one of them. It's a 3/8. Make sure I got it all in there. And that's why I do mine, because I don't want the stuff coming up and I don't want to have to put the glue on it because the glue makes it stiff. So, since I don't have my other trim, I'm going to have to search for it tomorrow. I'm going to go ahead and put this on every other one. And I'll just leave the one where I'm going to put the other one empty. What's wrong with this? That wasn't too smart because that ruins this. Sticking it up in there. So this is just this has got like a pearlized glitter on it, this trim. So we will go, which ones did I do it on? I did it on that one. So we'll go every other one. So if I do that, so blank, white, blank, white, right. Yeah. Okay. And I would recommend for anybody that decides to want to do this stuff to get a glue gun that you can put the little tips on. I don't know if other ones besides the ShoreBond do it. That's one of the reasons I bought this one, because you don't want that much glue. Otherwise you'll end up with too much glue coming out at once, and then it becomes one big old mess. So let's get this where the right side's up. And let's see, I'm going to go down and around. I'm going to have the icky, the white, the icky, the white. Okay. So I just run it down that little trench that I have made. And that's one of the reasons that I do it that way. And you just can run it down it. Now the bottom type, this part right here underneath, I don't really stick it in there that well, because then I can cut it off and I stick the other ones down in there to tuck them underneath. So I kind of like leave that with no glue on it so that I can stick it in there, and then after I can secure it more. Alright, so we're going to leave one empty. We're going to go here, one empty there, yes. See, and then you can take this and I tuck it underneath. All right. I got glue on my fingertips and I keep thinking I got it on my bowl. Okay, now I can't put any more on it because I have to get the right stuff. I can't send 2 balls looking different. Hopefully I'll be able to find it, but I'll go ahead and put the top on it. And we're going to make that with this. And once again, I use a bond wire to make me a little closure for that. And I just wind it around. Got your Christmas down now, Susan? Don't tell me they. No. Just wind it around there and do it as tightly as I can just by twirling it. Then we're going to shove it in this hole I've made. I swear when I'm pushing that, when I put that in there like that, it feels like I'm putting in like a ton of glue. I can feel it like making it go. And there's our top. Then I put a little, one of these little flowers on the top here and on there, but I won't put that in until I get the other trim up on it because that goes like in the front. And then also too, if you end up having any little glue blobs or anything, you know, by mistake, these little things will cover it. So that's what they're good for. And that's why I use them. So these are the 2 projects that I made. These are for this week. And is there any questions? Anybody got any questions? Oh, let's go up. There you go. Okay, it's like floating on me tonight. I had it where I tightened it where it was a lot better. So these are projects tonight. I hope you guys enjoyed this. I'm so glad that you came and watched me. Thank you very much. And if you have any questions, you can just put them in there and I'll try to help you in any way I can. But for my next one, I'll make sure that I have everything ready to do the hat. I'll make a, we'll do one. The one we'll do will be the Easter. And then I'll show you with the same thing you can make for bridal, that kind of stuff. And you wouldn't believe unless you go to look. When I first did one, when Lori wanted one, and I went to look, and I said, I'm in the wrong business, because those hats go for a lot of money on Etsy. Yeah, I mean, it blew my mind what they go for. But that's what we'll have in February. All right, thank you guys for staying with me tonight. I appreciate it a lot, and I'll see you next time.